Okay, so I just wanted to get started. My name is Abdurrahman. I'm actually a Washington real estate agent, and I want to help out the communities with just answering general questions who are looking to buy houses, etc., and also who are buying and renting the houses. So let me just go through some of the questions. So most important thing, some people are aware of HOA. They know basic information that HOA is something that the condo charges, but I want to go into more detail. So a condo, when you're buying a condo, it's actually you are part of an association because if all the homeowners who are buying condo and they have to, if something happens to the roof, a storm comes in or a hail comes in or anything happens and the roof gets damaged, one homeowner might not want to pay for the damage. Like if the damage is $100,000, if 10 homeowners have to come together and pay 10,000 each, they don't want to pay. Some of them might pay and some of them might not pay. So in order to resolve all these problems, association actually comes into place, and they would take care of all the maintenance, everything. And every month we have to pay them specific amount, 300, 400, or 500. So if there are 10 condos in an association, the association manager will collect all the monthly payments from all the homeowners and will run the association. So the things that it will include is fees to maintain um, the building, right? So from the 400, 500, whatever you're paying, the fee will actually go to the manager or the security or the staff, whoever is there. The fee will also go to the landscape maintenance. So if there's a grass or anything that they have to cut the trees, make sure the landscaping is done the right way. Then because that requires a lot of energy too. I mean, buying houses is just like buying cars. When you buy a car, the car is new, you want to wash it every week, you want to take care of it, you keep it very clean. After 6 months, you start to slack off in maintaining it. Same it is when you're buying a single family home and you have to cut the grass, you have to wash the driveway, you have to make sure that the siding is not getting damaged. All those maintenance, you will start to slack off. So those will be taken care by the association, so you don't have to worry about that. If there is a swimming pool, they have to do the maintenance for it, and they would pay the fee to maintain, the filter the water, make sure the water is not getting like contaminated, the water quality is good, on all those things they will maintain it. And they will also maintain the exterior as well. If there is roof, hail damage, siding paint, gutters, or any problem you have, they will take care of those because they will have their own insurance policy. Sewer lines as well. If there is anything stuck in the sewer and the toilets are being backed, they would fix the sewer line. But if you have a specific plumbing problem in your own home, then they will not fix it. Um, Another thing is your HOA fees will also include water and trash. So you don't have to pay for water and trash separately. The only thing you will pay for is your own maintenance. Your electricity bill is the only thing you'll pay when you're buying a condo, which is nice. The condo will also cover the insurance as well for the exterior building. Because if anything happens, your insurance doesn't cover the exterior, it only covers the interior. So your insurance will be very cheap. If you are buying insurance for interior and exterior, that would probably cost around $1,500 a year. But the condo insurance is very cheap. It's only like $400, $500 per month, per year. So you're paying a lot less for the insurance as well. Okay, so that is all that is included when you are paying condo fees every month when you're buying a condo. So pros and benefits. As I mentioned, some of the benefits are you don't have to do a lot of work. You don't have to do the maintenance. They will take care of the grass. They will take care if there is snow. They will actually plow the snow. They will take care of the driveway. They will, if there are potholes in the driveway or anything that's there, they will take care of it. If there is exterior peeling off or anything, or there is raw wood exposed to the wind and moisture, they will paint the wood to make sure the wood is not been damaged. So they will take care of the exterior and all those things as well at the same time. Okay, so that's a few of the things that they will actually look into. Another thing is, you know, your insurance will be low, as I mentioned, because they will take care of the actual insurance. So those are some of the pros and benefits of having a condo, because you will be having less risk. Let's say that if something major happens, like a flood happens and the flood comes into your home, if you don't have a flood insurance, then those things will not be covered. I know some investors who had a lot of houses in Florida, and when the storm happened there, the hurricane came, all their homes were flooded, and they lost hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars because they didn't have flood insurance. So that is something that the HOA will take care, because they will have a master insurance policy. Okay. Okay, let's go to the second. So disadvantages. Some of the disadvantages of having the HOA is sometimes the HOA might increase every month. So 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it can become significant. However, even if you're doing the maintenance on your own as well, that will also increase. So for an example, if you have to change a roof in 2020, it might cost you $10,000, but if you're actually adding a roof in 2030, it might cost you 20,000 or 30,000, because the wages and everything actually increase. So HOA might increase, so you might not feel good, wow, I'm paying so much HOA every month and it's increasing every year. It might increase a little bit, but you know, that could be one disadvantage of it. Sometimes the HOA is significantly high. I have seen some places where HOA is over $700 to $1,000 too. So in some of those HOA, the reason they are high because they have many other things other than the basic maintenance. They have a gym, they have party club, they have you know, common guest area, they have another small place to play golf and many other activities. So HOA have to do a lot of maintenance. So HOA is significantly high, and you will be paying extra $700 and $1,000 every single month. Sometimes assessments can also cause problems as well. So for example, if you have the assessments, it can be a big problem. A lot of people don't know about this assessment, so it's very important for me to educate people on assessments. So what happens is that, let's say that when the previous owner was living in the house, a big damage happened and the insurance was not able to cover the entire damage. And so HOA association had to pay for 50% of the damage. Let's say that that damage was equivalent to $500,000 and HOA had to pay $250,000. However, the reserve amount in HOA was only $150,000. So they had to pay extra $100,000 out of their pocket. However, they won't pay out of their pocket because they are just managing the house. They are not the owners. They would charge the owners that specific amount that they have to pay towards that. So assessments are, if there are 10 homeowners and extra $100,000 the HOA paid towards the damage out of their pocket, they will charge all the 10 homeowners $10,000 each. And they would say that, don't worry, we will collect on a monthly basis. So if the seller had to collect, if the seller had to pay assessment, the $300 or $400 a month, and they are selling the house, the new buyer would have to pay that. So one thing I do for my buyers is I negotiate and I make sure that the seller will pay off the entire assessment before the home is transferred, so the new buyer doesn't have to pay for it. And some buyers don't even have knowledge about it. They would mention assessment in the paperwork, and buyers don't even know what assessment is, and at the closing they will sign all the documents and they will accept it. When they accept it, they start living in the house, everything is nice and fun. They are buying new furniture, they're buying this, they're all enjoying in the home. But then the monthly assessments come into place, And the buyer will say, well, I never know about this monthly assessment. Well, you already signed those documents at the closing saying that you accept it. And sometimes the agent don't disclose these things because they don't want to mess up the deal. Sometimes agent don't even know about these things, because most of the agents that I have worked with have just studied their exams, and they have just took the license to actually start selling houses. I have done over 30 plus deals in which I have bought and sold multiple houses myself. And when I was working with many agents, they never disclosed many of the issues that I need to understand. That's the reason I became my own agent, to buy houses for myself. But at the same time, I understood there are so many people who need to know all this information as well. So that's when I decided to help other people out. So assessment is very important. Whenever you're buying a home, ask your agent, whoever you're working with, ask them if there are any assessments on this condo. If there are assessments, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever, if you decide to assume those, you would be the one to pay those assessments. So make sure that you don't pay for any assessments. You have to negotiate that with the seller. You can accept to pay it if the house, you're getting a house in a really good deal. Maybe the house is worth $500,000 and they're selling for 400,000 because there are some assessment in place and you really like it, you want to buy it. But you have to make sure that you understand what assessments are. But if you don't know and you sign the documents and you buy the house and later you find out there are assessments, that's another problem too. Another problem is a low reserves. So every condo association actually keep a specific amount of reserve in their bank. Some condos keep $500,000, $400,000, $300,000. Reserve is like an emergency money. If something crazy happens, a tornado comes and messes up the entire home and everything, and some of the things the insurance won't cover, so they will actually put their reserve money to make those repairs. So if the reserves are very low, less than $100,000, it could be a risk as well to you, so you have to make sure how they're doing with the reserve. If they have a good reserve of $500,000, that's great, because if they have low reserve, that means that they can come to you and ask for money when you actually live in the house, and anything crazy happens, they would come to you and ask the money. So if you are paying every month $500, they might come and ask you to pay another $5,000. Not every month, but a one-time fee. But that is something you don't want to take the risk. So you always want to make sure that how much are the reserve that the condo have. Okay. So another thing that I want to mention is what should I look for in HOA? Okay. So I have told you multiple things, right? So if it's a 2-bed condo, the HOA should be under $500 in East Side. Okay, if you're buying a home in Bellevue on East Side, I would say like under $500 a month. 2-bed condo in a nice neighborhood. 3-bed condo less than $600. In some other areas like Bothell and other areas, the HOA is really low. It's about $300 to $350, which is not bad at all. So it depends on every area. So you have to compare as well. So for an example, if you live in any specific zip code, let's say Linwood or Seattle, West Seattle, North Seattle, East Seattle, wherever you live, you have to look at least 10, 15 homes in that area to understand what is the average HOA fee in that area. If you see like 300, 325, 350, 360, 325, 330, all of them are in the range of 325 and 375, and you see an HOA that is $600, then you can say right away that this is really high. So you have to look at a big amount of houses online in order to be able to understand the HOA is high. I have some buyers who I'm showing houses on a regular basis, and they have seen so many houses because they have worked with me, and every time they see a house with a high HOA, they tell me like, Abdul, like, what's going on? Why the HOA is so high? Then I try to find that information out, And most of the time when the HOA is high, they have like many extra things in the HOA association. They have, extra swimming pool, or they have golf club, or they have some type of thing. So you have to make sure the HOA is under 500 if the association is very, very nice. Make sure there are no assessments. If any, seller have to pay them. And I put that in the purchase agreement that if there are any existing assessments, seller will pay it off, so that we have that something written down. And also talk to neighbors to make sure how condo association doing. I went to one of the condos with my buyers, and the elevator was really, really bad. It was so ugly. And when we found out the elevator was so bad, we looked at other things as well. There were so many things that they were not doing the right way. They were not maintaining the things the right way, because they were taking all that money and paying to the staff and not really maintaining the building. So you have to talk to neighbors to see if anything is wrong, how the HOA is responding. So they will know the history. Knock on the neighbor's door and ask them, how you doing? And ask them like, what do they do? And tell them that you are a new person and looking forward to buy a home in this association. And you want to know the history. So they will tell you like 3 months ago, there was a pothole. All the cars were getting stuck into that. We made multiple complaints to the HOA. They took 1 month to fix it. Then you can tell them that this HOA association is not that good because they're not doing their job the right way, right? And make sure the condo have at least $200,000 in reserves. That's another thing. Also, when you're buying a condo, make sure the windows and doors are good, because the windows are the owner's responsibilities. It will take at least $20,000 to replace the entire windows. When I was new to the real estate, I bought and sold houses, and I didn't realize that the windows are so important. Because when I bought a house with bad windows, I had to spend almost $20,000 to replace all the windows of the house. Each window was about $500, and I have to pay about $200 to install it. So it was a lot of work. So you have to make sure the windows are good, because if the windows are bad, the water will leak into the home. And then when the water leak will happen, the mold will create it. The mold can cause diseases, problems, and all those things. And if you have mold inside the house, you can't just like wash it and fix it. You have to break down the sheetrock, the wall, the insulation, and the wood behind it, and replace everything, because mold will not go away. Mold is really, really bad for people living in US, because in winter, we actually turn on the heat. And when we turn on the heat, the mold will actually rotate into the air and we will breathe that. So it's really, really bad. So you have to make sure that the windows are right and interior is very good, because you are responsible for the interior. Any problems inside your home, any plumbing, bathroom, or anything like that, you have to fix it. So that's another thing. Right, if you have any questions anytime, feel free to reach out to me. And also, a lot of people are shy. They are not really actively looking to buy houses, and they're just sometimes renting a home, and they just wanted to ask a question, and they really don't need any agent or anybody. So it doesn't matter. You can just call me and ask a question. I will help you out. I mean, even if you're buying or you have another agent, if you're already working with another agent and you just want to use the other agent services, it doesn't matter. I mean, I will help you out. You really don't have to use me as your agent. You can use anybody. Maybe you have a cousin or a brother or someone like that. If you have any general question or anything like that, I can help you out right away. So you can call me anytime. You really don't have to use my services at all. Just general questions. You might not be seriously looking for houses, but you still have a question, you can still ask me that question too. Text me or call me on WhatsApp or anything you have. I'll definitely be able to help you out. Any questions right now? Okay, if you don't have any questions, no problem. But if you have any questions, feel free to call me or text me. I'll definitely try to make my effort to help you out. And you really don't have to be serious about buying houses, even if you're renting. As I said, I can't stress this anymore, because It's not about you using services or anything. Even if you have someone in a different state who are looking to buy a house, and you just want to know like what things they should be looking for, I will just give you a list of things to make sure that they are making the right decision. I just don't want you to make the mistakes that I did, because when I was new to this game of buying and selling houses, I made many mistakes on which I lost almost like about $150,000 just in small little mistakes I made. Right, as I said, like just not looking enough for the windows cost me $20,000 on two of my houses. And another thing was there was foundation issue. I didn't look at the foundation, and that cost me about $30,000 just to fix the foundation of the house. So like $90,000 is right here, like $20,000 on windows, and $40,000 on foundation. And there are so many things I can't tell you enough. There are a list of things that you have to look for every time you buy a house, because when you buy a house, they will make the house look very nice to you, and it would look like, wow, this house is great, and you'll just buy it. And then once you buy it, later on the issues will start to come in. So those are some of the things that are very important. I also have a video that I created for inspection, that you can do your own inspection on a house and how to read the inspection. So if you want that video, I can send you the recording for that as well. And I have recorded this video as well, and I'll actually send it to you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay. Hope that was helpful. Any questions, reach out to me. Thank you. I think someone raised the hand. So do you have a question, Sheikh? I can help you out. Okay, I see a chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, looks like you just want to say thanks. I appreciate that. Have a good day.